I keep catching a glimpse of this mannequin head and all the other ones in the store out of the corner of my eye, and it gives me a heart attack.
You are an outfit repeater.
Guys, I have the thrifting itch. The thritch, you could say. No, we're not gonna say that. That sounds like a venereal disease. I just really want to go thrifting and see what I can find, and I thought I'd take you guys along. First order of business though, since I don't know what the fitting room situation will be, I'm going in with my battle gear on, which means bike shorts with pockets, just a black tank top. I'm throwing this ugly shirt over top just to feel a little bit less naked. Sneakers that are easy to remove if I want to try on shoes. I also will be taking a backpack. I just find them a lot easier than like a crossbody bag when I'm thrifting. Also a water bottle and a snack. I plan to be there probably a couple hours, hopefully not longer than that, but I like to be prepared. Also, today's aesthetic feels very year dad body swap with some random young woman. I look pretty dorky, but the hope is that means people will leave me alone. So today I'm heading up to the north end of town, which I usually don't go there because it's really far. Not an area I particularly enjoy traffic-wise, but there is a thrift store up there that I always forget exists. I haven't been there in a few years, so I thought I'd go check it out. It is quite a drive though. So let's get going. I keep catching a glimpse of this mannequin head and all the other ones in the store out of the corner of my eye, and it gives me a heart attack. So I managed to get out of there in under 2 hours, which is really good for me, but also it was stressy in there. Surprisingly busy, maybe because everyone wants to escape the heat. There was this mother and her daughter shopping together that just were always right up on me, and they were really stressing me out. And then the mom was kind of rude, and I was like, please just go away. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to get out of there. Like, don't be that person. I was planning on heading down to our Habitat Restore next, but I'm feeling quite a bit anxious after 2 hours in there, and I'm hungry, so I think I'm just gonna go home and head out later this week to the Habitat Restore. So I'll catch you in a couple days. All right guys, round two. Today I am heading to our Habitat Restore. Today I'm primarily looking for some furniture. I'm not sure if our restore has clothing, so I did go with the bike shorts again just because they were so gosh darn convenient, especially with the little pockets. But I just want to be comfortable, so I'm going with the oversized t-shirt. I don't think I'm gonna be trying on any clothes today. I don't know, I'm kind of just open to seeing what they have. Let's go find out. Guys, I just pulled up and it's like super tiny and sketchy looking and kind of like no people here, so ooh, okay, let's go. Guys, I don't know if that was worth the 45-minute drive to get here. Oh, it was so crappy. And the prices are really high. I've been to multiple Habitat Restores where the prices are great, even if the selection isn't. Unless I'm doing like a major home improvement project, I probably will not be coming back here. But since I drove all the way down here, I'm gonna stop at one other thrift store that I have not been to before that's down this way. So let's hope that this next one has better prices and selection. Location was also a little disappointing, but at least the prices were 10 times better. I think I'm just gonna give up and go home, and then I can just show you what I did manage to get at these 3 locations. A little disappointing overall, but it's all right. Well, that was a somewhat disappointing and very frustrating thrifting experience. Can't say I'll be going back to those locations anytime soon, but I did manage to find some good stuff, so I guess I can show that stuff to you now. The first location is definitely where I found the most. I mean, they had the most inventory, so that makes sense. Really good prices, but the stressfulness of that environment reminded me why I haven't been there in probably, I think at least 4 years. So I found this really sweet summer gingham print dress. I think it's cotton. Is it cotton? Ooh, linen. Yeah, it's 55% linen. It's one of those like burnt, rusty, brown, orange colors that I love so much. Not my size. It's a size too big, so I'm not gonna do a try on for this just because it fits really goofy right now. So I think if I just take in the bodice a little bit though, this will be a really nice dress to wear all year, honestly. I could layer this over things. Also got this little black velvet dress. Again, my mind is kind of like fall oriented. I would say right now, but kind of all the time. I just really gravitate toward fall and winter colors and textures. I won't be wearing this anytime particularly soon, but I think it's so cute. Definitely so many layering possibilities. Kind of reminds me of Mavis a little bit, although hers I think is a high neck, but either way. I also picked up this pleated black skirt. I was planning on just making myself a pleated black skirt, but this saves me the time and effort. And I actually really like that it's a bit longer than a lot of the tennis skirts that we see online, like with Instagram or Pinterest, just because I don't want my butt cheeks hanging out. This gives me a little bit more coverage, but still has that style that's been pretty popular the last few years. I think it's a good length for me, and this is a style that I've wanted to add to my wardrobe. The buttons down the side are a little bizarre, but I don't hate them. I picked up this leather belt that I don't have any particular need for really, but I think this will be good for layering with like more historically inspired outfits. I could see myself using this for the Ren Fair. I don't know, I'm just kind of collecting leather belts right now. Is this a men's belt? It might be, who knows. I also picked up this black and gray plaid skirt. I've been all about plaid, tartan, gingham lately. I don't know. I love it so much. I don't quite love the way this fits right now. It's a smidge loose around the waist, but otherwise is a close fit, so I'm not sure exactly what I'll do. I might just tighten up the waist and leave it long, or I could shorten it. I'm not sure. And then the last thing I got at my first location, I don't need a pullover hoodie, but I just really like this color right now. It's got a little bit of pre-pilling on the front, but otherwise looks in fairly good condition. This is an American Eagle hoodie. Why does it say jegging fit? What is a jegging fit as it applies to a hoodie? That doesn't make any sense. All right, the Habitat Restore. That was deeply disappointing. I did pick up a few things, but yeah, not a great location. So they had that really nice collection of like little paperweights, and I think paperweights are so darling. I didn't particularly love the ones that they had though. I don't want to buy a paperweight if I don't really love it, but they did have this little glass bird one. I don't need a blue glass bird, but my nephew calls me Bird, so I kind of had to. I got this book called Haunted America. Kind of seemed intriguing, different stories of hauntings and ooky spookums from all the different states of the US. And then I also found the DVD collection for the first half of season 1 of Outlander. Did I need this? Absolutely not, but this show has kind of been my guilty pleasure lately. Season 1 is the best season, but also it plays out so much like someone's fan fiction. It can be pretty cringe at times. I do fast forward through a lot of the unclothed parts because it's too much. But I like the story. I like the scenery. I love the costumes. Like I said, it's a guilty pleasure. But that's all I got from the Habitat Restore. Their furniture selection was not great and deeply overpriced. And then the last place that I popped in, again, not that great. Good prices though, but I got a couple things. I got this, oh, it's an extra large. I didn't even check the size. Because it kind of looks more like a medium when I was holding it up. So yeah, I got this see-through high neck blouse, but I've kind of been trying to collect blouses that would look good under a pinafore or layered underdresses. I'm not sure how this will look though, because they didn't have anything resembling a changing room. I kind of just like found a mirror out in the middle of the shopping area and threw some stuff on over top of my clothes. Also got this mock neck knit tank top. I'm not sure how it'll fit. Black basic pieces are a pretty safe bet for me most of the time. Like, shocking! It's one of my favorite colors to wear, and especially if it's simple, I can pair it with a million different things. The last clothing thing I got there, did I need this? Abso-freaking-lutely not, but I couldn't pass it up because this just opens the door for a Velma cosplay in the future if I so desire. Yeah, I don't need an orange turtleneck, but why not have an orange turtleneck? Although I can't decide if I'm more of a Daphne or more of a Velma. Or maybe I'm both, because you know what? I'm a complex human being that can't be reduced to cartoon tropes. That sounded so pretentious. Anyway, I did pick up a couple more books. Got a couple more sewing patterns that I'm primarily going to use just for the bodice. And some soap. I don't actually know if it smells good, but it says cinnamon, clove, and honey, and I like all of those smells. So let's find out if it actually smells any good. Oh, it does smell good. Okay, I love clove. Ugh. Clove is wonderful. I mean, those are some decent finds. I think I more was just disappointed with the overall experience of those thrift stores. Stopping at all three, I have a decent haul, but they really weren't worth the drive and the anxiety. I thought I would try out a new format and try to push myself out of my comfort zone a little bit by filming in the store, and out of my comfort zone it was. But thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for joining me on this somewhat chaotic thrifting adventure. Is adventure really even the right word? Probably not. Either way, see you guys next time. Bye. Get on my face. Get. Also, this lady totally was like watching me film myself. Awkward. I guess I'll just throw this on the ground.